So question 5, we want to simplify this expression. Again, type an exact answer using radicals as needed to simplify your answer. So simplifying, again, we want to simplify the radical first. So we need to simplify what's inside the radical by factoring. So we're going to use this 320 over here. And we're going to make a little factor tree. And again, we're going to use a prime factorization. So we're going to use this 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. Sometimes it's 13 as a strategy. So let's start with just 2. So I'm going to divide 320, divide that by 2. So half of 320 would be what? 150, 160 maybe? Yeah, so 160. So 2 goes into 320, 160. Notice how 160 is even. So 2 goes to 160. And again, half 160 would be 80. So again, if I divide 160 by 2, divide by 2, it's going to give me 80. Again, 2 does go into 80 because half of 80 would be 40. 2 does go to 40, that would be 20. 2 would go into 20, 10. 2 goes to 10, 5. So a bunch of 2s. And then the only thing we're left with is this 5. So 5 goes into 5 this one time. So we're going to rewrite this, the square root of 320 by this. Now, instead of doing all this, I'm going to just keep it over here in my little chart. So for every pair, that means a 2 comes out. So 1, 2, 2 2s, 3 2s comes out. So if I multiply 2 times 2 times 2, because each one of those is connected by multiplication, that gives me an 8. So what happens is, in my problem, the 16 minus the square root of 320 over 8, what happens is the square root of 320 is going to change first. So we're going to bring an 8 out, so it's going to be minus 8. And the only thing left over was the 5. So the 5 stays inside there like that. And then this is going to be over then this 8. Now, the next thing to do to simplify this is to separate this as 2 separate fractions. So this 8 is actually going to go into both numerators. So I'm going to write this as 16 over 8 minus 8 over 8, well, 8 radical 5 over 8. So if I can simplify these here, notice how the 8 does go into 16 twice. 8 does go into 8 one time, which is going to just leave me this radical 5. So remember, to cancel out like factors, that's how you reduce fractions. So those 8s are like factors, so I can just divide those out and become a 1. That's going to leave me a radical 5. So 2 minus radical 5 should be the simplified version of this problem. So if I want to type this back into the calculator, I can do alpha f1. Didn't do that right. Second quit. Alpha f1. If I type in 16 minus the square root of 320 on the top, and then put the 8 on the bottom, notice how it gives me a negative number. Now, if I type in 2 minus the square root of 5, I should get the same thing. 2 minus the square root of 5. Notice how that gives me the same answer. So our answer, since our answer represents this the same as this over here, they're equivalent. But this is considered simplified because we pulled out all the perfect squares out of this radical, and we're able to reduce the fractions a little bit further to get our final answer there. So that's how I would approach question 5.